Our next topic is, as already mentioned, and as we have been seeing from the morning, we are touching upon different aspects of digitalization of enterprises. And morning we talked about overall aspects of digital transformation. We had a special focus on multiple cloud deployment in enterprises, and we had one session on cybersecurity roadmap the session, and just after lunch we had one session on sustainability. The current session, the topic is from generative AI to analytics, the future of next gen technologies in tomorrow's digital transformation. Primarily we would like to focus one on the new gen technologies like AI, definitely Gen AI, and every speaker from the morning has been emphasizing on that. We want to speak about blockchain, one of the important aspects in the cybersecurity roadmap of organizations. We want to speak on augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. We definitely want to emphasize on analytics and how analytics is helping in data driven decision making for organizations. And for this, we have a very esoteric set of panelists, and it's my pleasure to call on stage each of the panelists now. Can we have on stage Mr. Manoranjan Kumar, CIO of Shri Cement? A round of applause for him. Can we have on stage Mr. Rakesh Nayak, Assistant VP IT, BSES Delhi? It's a JV with Reliance Infrastructure. Can we have on stage Mr. Atul Patni, Head Digital, Cairn Oil and Gas with Vedanta Limited? Can we have on stage Mr. V. Ranganathan Iyer, Senior EVP IT and Group CIO of JBM Group? It's my pleasure to call the lady Arpita Das, Director IT Kitchen and Bath, Kolar, India. And I presume we are going to be joined by Mr. Keshav Dubal, Head of IT at Dabur India. He is just on the way, reaching in a few minutes. So he will join the panel in between. So, as I mentioned, the focus is on some of the new gen technologies as well as on analytics. So I'll start with you, Manoranjan. And the first thing is, we all hear about analytics and how critical it is for enterprises now. My question is, when data-driven decision making, having meaningful insights, these things are becoming so critical, and enterprises are gathering lots of data from different sources, can be structured, can be unstructured sources, and that's lots of heterogeneous data coming. So on that heterogeneous data, one, how are you applying analytics successfully so that you get meaningful insights with it? And then from that meaningful insights, what's the challenge for organization in deriving very data-driven decisions? So what's the challenge there, Manoranjan?
Yeah, good afternoon. In our Sri Cement, like cement company, we had started these kind of analytics or the business analytics kind of thing in pockets as and when it is required. So we started working on that. Initially, the dealer, retailer related data and the sales data was identified, and then we created a data lake using those data coming from different sources, structured, unstructured, and started some kind of daily report or maybe the management reports, which were helping them to get a feel of the business, how it is going and how it is working on that. Later on, we started on the technical data also, like it was coming from the different kind of plants, how the plants and the machinery are being used, what is the capacity of the total machines are being used, what is the failure rate. So those areas we had work started. Now the problem what we are facing is combining all these data into one data lake and identifying the commercial and technical the BI part, we are working on that, where we are identifying a lot of people and the people who are working on the AI side. How do we create a meaningful report or the analytic report which can combine these commercial and technical data? So in this area, we are working on that.
Okay, so basically aligning that, applying analytics to align the commercial and technical data so that ultimately from that meaningful insights are derived. Okay, so we will maybe elaborate on this a little bit later. Next, I'll come to you, Mr. Rakesh Nayak. Again, the same question. How critical it is for the technology decision maker like you to leverage analytics for more improved data-driven insights for your organization?
Hi everyone. Hello. So actually we working for the BSES, and BSES is a power distribution company, and we serving the power for 4.5 million consumer in Delhi. So artificial intelligence and generative AI itself is a very fancy word, and it solves a lot of problem being the consumer and the company. Like being the power distribution, power is very essential where a lot of demands and consumer grievances is coming. So earlier we don't have such tools where we can capture such informations and make some innovative idea. So in last 4 to 5 years, through the digital transformation journey, we made such many changes in our industry. Like we explored the chatbot, we explored the voice bot, where we handle consumer informations and consumer query very efficiently. So whenever consumer asks any query and our bot is not able to answer, so we immediately we move into the agent. So we minimize our resource and focus on the digital transformations and AI parts. So once you start the generative AI tools and taking the leverage of analytics, we help lot and save many costing part also. So we save operation cost, we save consumer efficiency, we enhance, and customer satisfaction is 98% as on date. So leveraging of AI is very good, and for every industry, and as on date, Industry 4.0, it's give the lot of informations and enhancement to any company. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for that. So very importantly, you have mentioned one important aspect, leveraging these new technologies like AI to enhance the customer experience, because at the end of the day, all businesses exist because of the customers. So before I come to the next panelist, Mr. Keshav Dubal, Head of IT at Dabur India, he is here, and I'll request him to join here on the... Hi. So just for your, we are having the first round where we are basically asking the importance of analytics, how businesses are leveraging it for more meaningful insights and data-driven decision-making in organization. I'll come next to you, Atul. And by the way, we have a very esoteric set of mix of verticals being represented here. We have Keshav from Dabur, which is one of the largest FMCG companies in the country. We have core sector cement company, again, one of the largest cement companies in the country, Shri Cement. Manoranjan is here. Then we have couple of utility companies, Rakesh from BSES, and energy is represented by Ken Oil, again another utility organization. Manufacturing is represented by Ranganathan, and furniture appliances is being represented by Arpita here. So next, coming to you, Atul, in terms of leveraging analytics for improved data-driven decision making, what are the challenges and how are you doing it in your organization?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, yeah, this is a pertinent question actually in terms of leveraging analytics. Analytics has been there for past few years, and it has been very useful for data-driven decision making. But one of the key challenges which I feel which happens is data contextualization. So when we talk about analytics, and if we do it in silos, that's something which is not going to help. And when we consolidate onto a data platform, which is also called a data ops platform, and you kind of contextualize the information coming from different legacy systems, because each legacy system has their own terminology, in which the data is being mentioned. So that needs to be contextualized, brought into a central platform, and then if you run analytics over there, that's where it will give a lot of help to the end users and customers. And what it would also do is yesterday, means previous times, when people were making these analytics dashboards and all, the major time used to go into 70% of their time contextualizing the data, transforming the data. Now, if you bring it onto a data ops platform, transform it and give that contextualized feel, they just need to build their logics and show the analytics part of it. So that is something which is a key challenge from a development and scaling up perspective. And second important thing is, ultimately what happens, you make analytics, you make those dashboards available to the management, but there is always a change which is there. So whether the decisions are being taken or not after that analytics, so there is no closed loop. This is an open loop system. So when you are talking about digital transformation, the more the things are closed loop, that's where the impact would be there at the end customer or end users as such. So if we get these insights, and there is an automated way to take the decisions as well, and if we can build those logics, that will actually take it to the next level of generative AIs or analytics as such.
Okay, so basically you are emphasizing on the importance of contextualization, and subsequent to which the logics can be built for more meaningful insights. Great, point taken. Ranganathan, I'll come to you next. Again, the same question in terms of leveraging analytics for more meaningful insights.
Namaste. We will try to understand with two different examples. See, being auto parts manufacturers, we are bound to follow what OEMs are instructing. And we are being a very diverse two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, farm equipments, railways. We do business for across industry. And because of the market condition, what happens is the requirements delta plus or delta minus goes. The important factor is how we are going to plan, number one. Number two, how we are going to integrate the inventory which we have got, or the inventory which we are going to have shortage, either way. So we use, because the whole of OEM industry works in this way, 12 months planning, then they give it to larger extent 1 month firm planning, and one day 100% hourly basis planning. We get this. We try to collate, and then we try to see where we are going to fail, because we have to see with the supplier ecosystem, because we have the capacity of our suppliers also incorporated into our system. So we know that if it goes beyond this level of requirement, then we may need to find somebody else who is capable of supplying the goods which we are procuring from others, so that we are concluding the demand right. This is one set of data analytics and taking decisions over, and then we clearly come to know some of the actionable points where we have the habit of failing. We figure out that from this. The second example of data analytics is our buses on the move. The bus has got many data inside, like it has got electronics, electricals, engine, tire, battery, EV batteries. We collate all the data. Every 5 minutes we collect, and then we do analysis, and then take out exemptions based on thresholds. number one. Number two, because in the last 4 years we are running the bus, so we know that if it is going to happen in this direction, probably we may need to see before it comes off, that particular equipment comes off, we take a corrective action. If not possible, we will inform the driver or any of the depot person who are near to that bus. We will try to inform the people concerned to go and attend it right. This could be possible only because of collecting data at the right time, number one, collate it and take a meaningful, insightful data, and then inform the person responsible, take active actions.
Okay, thank you. So primarily what you are saying is, one, the importance, you're talking of an extended ecosystem where the suppliers, OEMs and everyone is there. So there needs to be a synchronization in terms of the inventory and whatever other data. And on that, then your forecasting and planning need to be of a particular time duration and particular timing. Great. That's another interesting insight of an operational in an auto manufacturing kind of setup. Arpita, I'll come to you. It's more a consumer appliance or a furniture appliance organization. And from your perspective, the same question again, how do you improve your data-driven decision making using analytics?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I think we have in our organization especially, I don't know about other, one of the biggest challenge that we have to do anything is we have an enterprise system which is controlled and is completely under our US counterparts. So that's one of our biggest challenges that we face when we have to do our any kind of digital analytics or any digital transformation. So here what happens is the data exists in silos for us. So the main mothership systems have a data, and then, we as Indians we think that we know better. We do certain things which is outside our enterprise, and then marrying all of them and to get them into the data lake so that there is a meaningful information for the business to take a decision. And I don't know how many of you know Kohler, even though we have a manufacturing unit in India, 70% of our products are imported from outside. So supply chain and forecasting are two very important parts for us because of the fact that we can't have our consumers shouting at us saying that I have placed an order and I haven't received it because the bathroom is not complete. And you know how important bathroom is for everybody to move into a house. So that's where we have been concentrating all our efforts. And that's where we have all these, disparate systems. We have to ensure that the data comes in both structured and unstructured way into the system so that we can build on top of it. And the other challenge I faced in my particular organization is the skilled manpower, whether within IT or in business. To understand the data, to use it the way that would drive a meaningful decision for them is something that we have seen people struggling with. And we have been trying to provide trainings to both business as well as IT to kind of upskill them.
The skilled manpower thing we'll discuss in detail later. But the first part that you mentioned, that's a very important thing. And maybe because I think you are the only non-Indian MNC, if I may say, here on the panel, that's a big challenge. When I know this typically, many of these MNCs, they follow a global standardization thing. And that might be in some cases detrimental to the operations of the localized unit in terms of performance optimization. That can be a challenge. Interesting point again mentioned. Keshav, I'll come to you now. Dabur is one of the largest. Dabur is one of the largest FMCG companies in the country. And again, an FMCG will have an extended ecosystem, distributors, suppliers, and everything. So forecasting, and those are very critical. So how critical is leveraging analytics for decision making in your organization?
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keshav from Dabur. So as Arpita rightly said, we also have certain kind of challenges because Dabur being a 120-year-old company, we are having legacy systems.
True.
So approximately 90 plus applications are legacy applications which have been created over the time in last 20 years. So we have data spread across the different type of data sources. We have structured, unstructured databases. And again, we are having some in-house development, some third-party SaaS model applications. So the main challenge which we face is basically data integration, first of all. Second thing is collating that data and churning it into a meaningful and desired output. Yes, and same time we have also doing some POCs on our Gen AI, where we are actually providing some meaningful information from the legacy data. So yes, this kind of challenge we face on regular basis.
So another critical aspect, and lot of organizations, I'm sure, especially around manufacturing, around FMCG, are the legacy organizations in India, and their migration and ultimately whatever data they are generating to have any meaningful and beneficial insights on it, you first need to sort of modernize that legacy
Precisely.
thing. So, great. So, now for the next round, and very important aspect, Arpita touched a bit of it in her talk. This is on, see, all very good. We are applying analytics, we are applying AI and other new gen technologies. But what about the people who are applying, the teams? One, first the technology teams per se, and two, more importantly now, even the business units, because ultimately they are the business units. So how are you looking at upskilling them? Because one, obviously, even for the IT team, it's a challenge keeping very IT savvy workforce, because they would definitely prefer working in a more IT company kind of environment. So starting with you, Manoranjan, again, how are you looking at upskilling the workforce on these new gen technologies?
I was about to come on these challenges because we have faced similar kind of, and most of people in our IT department organization, they must have faced like these kind of problems. We have started this analytic reports generation, I think long back, 5-6 years back, we have started that thing. The people in conventional company, like in our companies, the very conventional companies, their users are very old. The middle management and the top managers are very old people are there. They are very habituated looking at the reports or looking at the information on paper. If you generate any kind of report, it has to be printed form. So we tried educating them. We tried showing them the benefit out of it, like how easily and how quickly you can generate these kind of report. But they are the people who don't want to change. It's a totally change management kind of thing. We tried giving them a meaningful information, but the set of information, like 10 reports they wanted to generate in the morning. So there are 10 sets of people are available in the organization. They will generate those kind of report, print it, keep it there on their table. They will analyze it and they will say, fine, this is what I wanted. But the moment you ask them to look those reports on a screen and then you analyze it, they said, we don't want. We need these kind of information to run the business, because we are running a business, and whatever way we are asking you, please develop or generate those kind of report. If those reports, the Excel-based reports, are being generated using a BI tool or maybe expensive tool, I don't think it is worth implementing such kind of expensive tools until and unless you don't look the data in a different way. The thing is, people are the people who are looking these kind of information, or people who are making the decision based on these kind of data, if they are accepting these kind of thing, the IT department or the people who are working at the back end are really get more working towards that area. So this is the what like we are facing in our company, and most of the company, I think I have worked in a previous company also, there were the similar kind of problems.
So what is the solution? See, ultimately, end of the day, though they are saying we take decision based on this, but I'm sure they will lose business competitiveness beyond a point because times have changed. So what is the solution to this?
See, earlier the problem was like what we found also, the people were not very savvy towards email also in our organization. They wanted their secretary wanted to print a email, take it to the boss. Boss will write on that email and then it will given back to the secretary. They will type it and send it back. But the time changes. And the people now, they don't have that kind of time that they respond, that they have time to respond these kind of delayed response. So they have started adopting the mail, attending the mail on mobile, and it's a business need. The similar way, the business need is coming up. Now the time will force them to use these kind of tool to take this. Until unless they don't want to change themselves, it's very difficult to train them, push them to use this kind of information.
Okay, so basically creating awareness about the business needs and business cases, and only then hoping that things and people will change with time.
Sometimes they also aware about the benefit out of this information, but the business pressure and such kind of things are there. They don't have time to analyze this information and then work on that.
Okay.
The supply chain, the production, the quality control, these kind of pressures are there. So people are running behind the firefighting and things is going on.
Okay, thanks. Rakesh, your experience in terms of upskilling your workforce to these changes, and especially where you are operating more in a B2C kind of environment also, where so many consumers. So how are you looking at upskilling the workforce?
So, such issue, I think everyone is facing, but it's a leadership role. Leadership role here plays a very major role here. So we have to educate the users, educate the end users and consumer also. So, being the power distributions, we have the lineman who work around the clocks and very conventional methods. So now we started the AR, augmented reality and virtual reality. So where experts sits on the operations center, and through the augmented reality, they guide them how to join the cables, how to work for the transformer and the switch gear. Okay. So these things are very challenging. So organization face certain challenges in that aspect, and the solution is that training, time to time training, and upskill the resource, certifications, and some kind of cross-functional training should arranged, and think about that how user and consumer what facing the challenges. So do some kind of like natak nukkar kind of a drama on the places, and some articles through the market. So user must be educated. So ultimate resources and solution is that upscaling the resource and training is the last goal to achieve such issues.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. Atul, your experience in upskilling the workforce, and
Yeah.
Rakesh has mentioned a very nice use case about that also. So what is your experience?
Yeah, so in our organization, the fortunate point is our resources are quite young, and they are quite tech savvy as well, because we are into oil and gas upstream, requires a lot of technology understanding, a lot of tools that these guys are using. But in terms of the industry 4.0 technologies, how we can upskill them in that regard. So there are 4-point agendas generally we pursue on that. First is a tailored training approach, which can be taken. Suppose there is a technology we want to upskill the people on Power BI analytics. We do a tailored 2-day program, ask people to join in, and encourage them to work on it. The second part is we encourage them on doing certifications. So that is also being sponsored internally by the organization as well, where people are doing certifications, upskilling themselves in that regards. Third is we have tie-ups with online platforms. which actually give them, those kind of tailored programs which can be registered, and they can do such kind of trainings at their own use as well, right? And lastly is in terms of, so we do a lot of digital transformation initiatives across the organization, and we have certain teams and SMEs internally. So what we also do is, along with HR, we have the entire calendar laid out where the initiatives that we are doing, we carry out internal sessions, and it's being rolled out across the organization. People join on Teams, and we deliver such kind of virtual internal expert sessions, and that's how the awareness upskilling actually happens. So 4-point agenda is what we actually work on here.
So you have mentioned very innovative ways of upskilling using the internal subject matter experts as well as third-party training, also online training. Great. Ranganathan, your initiatives in upskilling your workforce?
Yeah, we'll take some examples and then understand. We have 3 sets of people in my manufacturing floor. One is top management. The one is middle management. The third one is set of people who are actually working at the floor level. When you are talking to a floor person, you have to focus on how to reduce his job. We give only one parameter. You have to do one work only one time, not more than that. You are going to enter the production in the system only once.
Okay.
Earlier, what they were doing it in system, and then for his manager, he will write in Excel and then compile and give it. So we made it very clear that if you have done the job, if your senior is asking something, tell him to take it himself. The middle management, what we have done, they have 2 works to do. One, control the people who are working under them and try to please seniors. We made it very clear that instead of you asking anything, you don't ask. You take it from system. If it is not there, question the person responsible. This is second set of this kind of person is a person who can manipulate many things. So we ensured either it will be through systems or it will be manually compiled, and that parameter is available with lower level, top level. This communicated very clearly. 80% of the data will come from the system. In some cases, 20% may not be available in system. It will be entered because there are certain customer-based factors which comes that has been fed into the system. So the person dependability increases. For this person at the middle level also, we made it very clear that you are going to provide the report to your management, but you will not give that physically. It means reports are getting generated through system, automated, and then sent to his top management team. Then he is printing and giving it. This is simple. For the top level, what we have done is, yes, still they have the habit of printing. To eliminate that, when we did that data analytics in place, we brought in what if analysis, or you can say if out of 10 parameters, 2 parameters is getting changed, what happens to the outcome? That analysis when we were doing, we started giving a live dashboard kind of thing, so they can change themselves and then see the outcome. Instead of they asking a finance person or maybe a supply chain person, they can change the parameter and see, which has created interest in them, and they started, although they are not doing it themselves, during the senior management committee meeting, the respective person responsible does that parameter change and then immediately show the output to the management, so that they are not going beyond the analytical tools.
Okay, so it's a very innovative thing. What you were talking about is a sort of an intelligent, interactive knowledge base, if I may say, and effectively leveraging that between different levels of employees with different levels of controls. Great. Arpita, you have touched upon, so maybe a little bit more elaborately you can mention about your efforts in upskilling the workforce.
Sure. I'll talk about both my team as well as business. Now, in Kohler, the IT, at least in India, we're a very, very lean organization, and we really do not have the people in-house available. So what we depend on is the vendors who know the subject very well. We work with them, and while working with them, we kind of upskill our resources. We have, as mentioned, we also have education loan that we give to our employees to get a certification, but we are highly dependent on external vendors for all kinds of trainings. And sometimes we do reach out to our global teams if they have any understanding of what we are trying to do, they help us. Now, when it comes to the management or the business part of it, what we have done is we have tried to attack the top management, because we believe that if they are the ones asking for it, the rest of the organization will follow. So we did, when we developed our dashboards, we showed it to the president as well as the MD, and they understood how easy it is for them to see the data rather than asking somebody and getting a report 15 days and then analyzing it. And once they saw it, they completely made it very clear in the town hall that next business review is to be on this system. So then there was no other option but the other people to start learning. And of course, we facilitated them. We got them, with the vendor and got some trainings done. But we tried to do a top-down approach for training.
Okay, great. Keshav.
In my case, as Vibha told, like they are actually targeting two teams, basically internal as well as other departments. We are also tackling the same. We are also having the same scenario. For IT teams, I can take an example. Whenever we are taking any new initiative, digital initiative, we always try to keep all team members or stakeholders in the loop. Try to have those knowledge-based sessions from the OEMs, subject matter experts, as well as external trainings. We do have the scheme of certification for the internal employees. Same time, whenever we are having some kind of digital initiative for any department, we try to find out some technology champions among the department. So what we do generally, we train those technology champions of the department, and then their duty is to spread that word, inform the technology to other peer, as well as we also conduct the regular training sessions, IT sessions for the employees. This is how we are actually tackling this upskill.
Great.
Yeah.
So basically, many of you, this set of upskilling, question about upskilling touched upon another aspect I wanted to. So Manoranjan talked about, we have Ranganathan talking about it, Arpita, Keshav, all talking about just the integration and synergy or alignment with the other business. That can be the top management or the, in one of the earlier panels in the first half, one panelist was talking about now there are so many designations and roles. There is a CIO, a CDO, a CISO, a CRO, and so many. So the integration and synergy. So anyone, it's an open question. Anyone would like to take it up? How, when we are talking about all these new gen technologies, in the midst of all these, how is that alignment and synchronization happening between all these different lines of businesses? Anyone? Yes, sir.
See,
I'll come to
see
you.
different businesses. The practical problem is what you are providing solution for. This is the bottom line. Whatever you can talk, AI, anything, if it is not going to solve the end user pain point,
Then
you are not recognized. Number one. Number two, when you have multiple business in place, the learnings are much more where you can refer. For example, when we have a OEM division where we have a high level of automation, and when we are trying to do that, we will bring the auto component division, which is oldest among all the divisions. We have a reference point which is helping us showcase if we go for this technology intervention, we will get this result. It may not be true for you, same you cannot replicate, but you will be in a position to give a thought process how I can deliver. For example, when we did that, let us take an example of group business excellence doing an audit. It is a very simple use case. What happens when you are doing any audit manually? You go audit hundreds of questions, collect evidences. After collecting all the evidences, you come back to office, you compile, you collate, and then take some MIS reports and then hand it over. Because of the maturity or because of the people who are available in that business division, one of the divisions adapted in less than 1.5 months. What they could achieve, the compilation time after audit was 3 days, which got eliminated because of they are going with a tab, asking the person question, answering, taking evidence, taking a photograph into that digital. Then there, when we could do it for some business, the other business immediately accepted.
Exactly.
A reference point and
Yes.
is helping you. In case of bus division, for example, we have MES in place. When we are doing a nut runner, 45 RPM, it was supposed to be there. System controls whether the operator has done 45 RPM. If it happened, it will stop.
Okay.
If I explain that to my auto component division, probably they say that yaar ye ho kaise ho sakta. So these are all the ways and means of.
Okay. So the importance of the reference point. Atul, you are adding something here and complete.
Yeah, so what I was coming to is generally what happens is in my organization there is a digital transformation initiatives which is being run more from a think and design perspective, which is to grow the organization, align with business, so their objective is different. There is an IT counterpart whose objective is totally different to run the apps, whether there is availability of apps which is there. And then there is a security counterpart whose objective is different in terms of securing the entire ecosystem which is there. However, as he said, the ultimate outcome for a business or any manufacturing company is to grow the business, is to get that volumes and reduce the cost. So we all have to align to that and all have to work towards it. And that's where a mutual collaboration is very important. Each one needs to understand other issues as well and collaboratively work. And how we do is we have set up a solution review board where all the three counterparts come together, discuss on any new solution coming into the architecture and how it can be best suited to deliver the outcomes, business outcomes. So that's how we take.
So a solution review board for mutual collaboration. Great. Rakesh, very briefly, because I'll conclude after that with one.
So
Very briefly.
CIO, CISO, and CDO, all three play a very major role for any business and operations. And without, if any company nowadays, you cannot think about that for progress and digital transformation. So CIO is the ultimate responsible for the digital transformations and security perspective. But problem is that cyber security guys think this is a security reason and we cannot go beyond of this security. Operation team think that how can I run these operations without this solution? So where is the conflict here? CISO and IT operations team. And CIO ultimate goal is to run the business and showcase the business to the operations and business team. So ultimately, all three are very correlated to each other, and they all three play the very crucial role and mitigate the risk for operations and business and transformation journey. So ultimately, you can say like all three are very crucial and important, and same time they all three have to understand the operations pain point also. So without any business cannot sustain
True. That's
the things. Okay?
Obvious.
So all three are very major role here.
major role. So I'll conclude coming to each panelist and 30 seconds to each of it. One new gen technology, which and one technology only, which you would like to focus in the next 4 or 5 quarters, Manoranjan. starting with you.
What
30
I see
seconds.
is the upcoming technology. A lot of upcoming technologies are there. Out of that, the ML, machine learning, and AI is the most important. With the manufacturing organization can adopt, and they should adopt on that. Apart from that, what I can also see is the video analytics is coming up, and the geofencing is also geo coordinates are being used for a lot of kind of business. So these are the new technology which are
So AI,
maybe
ML,
adopted.
video analytics, and geofencing. Rakesh.
I'll say digital twinning. That is the most important and critical for this era. And second, we talk about the genetic AI. So nowadays, if you talk about the customer pain point and business, so we have to understand the genetic AI and we have to leverage your business through the genetic AI.
Okay.
And-
So Gen AI and digital
Yes,
twinning.
and third, most of the important part is cyber security. So we cannot leave that part.
Obviously. Yes, Atul.
Yeah, so for me, for next 4 quarters, the key technology which I am focusing is on generative AI. So that is something which has huge potential to give outcomes for our business. We have certain use cases, we have done certain pilots as well. However, there are challenges around it, which is in terms of high initial costs that are associated with it. Security related certain concerns are also there. But the technology has a lot of potential, that's what I can say, and it can really add value to the business.
Okay, thanks. Ranganathan, 30
See,
seconds.
big manufacturing, we are thinking of conversational AI with LLM inbuilt.
Okay, conversational AI with AI ML. Orpita.
For us, it is Gen AI. I'm sure you would have heard that Kohler has intelligent bathroom and intelligent toilets, right? So we are trying to use that and get into the health space and help people to live a healthy life.
Yes, so the intelligent bathroom is coming because I have experienced this in Japan, but it's good to know it's coming to India. Yes,
For
Keshav.
Dabur and for me right now, Gen AI plus analytics is the main focus area which we are working on. We are doing a lot of POCs as well as in-house development for Copilot. We are actually creating some POCs around Copilot where we are able to integrate our internal data with Copilot and we can fetch the desired output.
Okay.
So kind of predictive analysis we are working upon right now.
Around Copilot. Okay, great. Thanks. With that, we come to the end of a very, very interesting discussion, and I'm sure it would have been interesting for the audience here also. And before we disperse, we would like to felicitate each of our panelists. And for that, I'd like to call on stage Shouvik Goswami, who is a co-founder and group editor of APAC News Network. So, I'm gender-based. I'd like